By now, we've all heard about Dubai, right? It's supposed to be this incredible place, tall buildings, one of the most beautiful utopias on the planet. But what if I told you there's a dark side to Dubai that they don't want us to know about and that they don't show on YouTube, they don't show in the news? And the dark side of Dubai can get really, really dark. So let's watch this video together called The Dark Side of Dubai, What They Don't Want You to Know. And let's see what it's all about.
Dubai police have released details of their latest drug bust, an attempt to smuggle 500 kilos of pure cocaine into the country.
Dubai, renowned for its gleaming skyscrapers and lavish shopping malls, often feels like a city from a fantasy. Grand, luxurious, and undeniably impressive, it captivates visitors from the moment they arrive. However, beneath its radiant exterior lies a much darker truth. In labor camps like Sonapur, thousands of migrant workers face unimaginable hardships daily. These workers are far removed from the glitz and wealth that define the city's image.
Man, that doesn't look like the Dubai they show us, does it?
Beyond the luxury and spectacle, strict laws govern even the most basic aspects of life. Let's delve into 9 surprising things you should know about Dubai.
Am I in trouble? Yeah, you're under arrest. Are you serious? Public intoxication.
Some good, some troubling, and some downright shocking. Number 8. Strict alcohol regulations. Alcohol consumption in Dubai can be one of the most confusing elements for newcomers. Despite the city's modern reputation as a party destination, the rules surrounding alcohol are far stricter than you might expect. Visitors often assume that drinking is allowed freely, given the city's international appeal, but this assumption is incorrect. First and foremost, alcohol can only be purchased at establishments with a proper license. Licensed bars, restaurants, and hotels are the only places where alcohol is legally served. These venues are generally located in tourist-heavy areas, but not every establishment offers alcohol. Moreover, public drinking is completely prohibited.
I think he's saving the really dark parts towards the end because I know it gets a lot darker than just them controlling alcohol.
You're at the beach, in a park, or simply walking down the street, consuming alcohol outside of a licensed venue can lead to significant penalties. Additionally, there are strict regulations concerning who is allowed to drink. Only non-Muslims are legally permitted to purchase and consume alcohol, as Islamic law prohibits alcohol. Even then, alcohol must remain confined to licensed premises. If you're caught drinking outside of these locations, you could face serious consequences. Tourists should also be aware that you cannot buy alcohol from stores without a personal liquor license. Residents need one.
Wow, a personal liquor license. Because I was wondering, how do they know their religion, right? Because he said Muslims can't buy alcohol in Dubai. So I was wondering, how would they know? I guess that's how they know. You need to get your license. And if you're Muslim, if you identify as Muslim, you can't get that license. That's really interesting.
But tourists do not have access to these licenses. Without this privilege, it's illegal to purchase alcohol for consumption in private areas like hotel rooms. Public intoxication is another serious issue in Dubai. Even if you've been drinking in a licensed venue, you cannot step outside under the influence. Doing so can lead to arrest. Dubai has zero tolerance when it comes to drinking and driving. The legal blood alcohol content limit for drivers is 0, meaning even the slightest trace of alcohol can result in severe penalties. During events like Ramadan, alcohol is even more restricted, with many bars and clubs halting service entirely. Tourists visiting during this time should be especially mindful of cultural norms. Number 7. High cost of living. Dubai's high living costs can come as a surprise to many newcomers, particularly those who move to the city for its enticing promise of tax-free salaries. However, the city's expensive lifestyle often outweighs the financial advantages, especially for expatriates. From rent to education and healthcare, everyday expenses can quickly add up.
Yeah, it only makes sense for people that have a business in a different country or online and they make a lot of money and then they move to Dubai. But thinking you're going to go to Dubai to make money there in a normal job, and because it's tax free, you're going to be, king of the world. It doesn't work like that. A lot of their workers there are shipped in from third world countries because of this reason. If you're trying to go from America to Dubai thinking you're going to get, an amazing pay, only if you're some kind of specialist, then maybe. But as a regular worker, it's not happening.
Making it challenging for some residents to save. One of the primary financial burdens in Dubai is housing. Rent prices in sought-after areas like downtown Dubai or the Palm Jumeirah are exorbitant, often consuming a large portion of one's monthly income. Even in less central neighborhoods, housing costs can remain high. In fact, many residents allocate a significant chunk of their salary to pay for rent. To save money, some people opt for living farther from the city center, but this comes with the downside of longer commutes and fewer nearby amenities. In addition to rent, utility bills can be a heavy financial burden. Dubai's scorching summer heat means that air conditioning is a necessity, and cooling costs can dramatically increase a household's monthly expenses. Larger homes in particular face higher utility costs, adding another layer to the overall financial strain. Moreover, maintenance fees for some properties can further drive up the cost of living. For families, education is another substantial expense. Expatriate families generally opt for private schools, as public education is primarily reserved for Emirati citizens.
Wow.
The cost of private school tuition can range significantly, depending on the school's reputation and curriculum, with some families spending tens of thousands of dollars annually. Many expatriates are caught
That's probably per child. I know some of these private schools can get really expensive. These are all the things they don't talk about.
off guard by the steep costs associated with providing quality education for their children. Healthcare in Dubai is also expensive. Though the city boasts world-class medical facilities, healthcare services can be costly. While many employers offer health insurance, this coverage may not extend to dependents or may leave some medical expenses uncovered. Without comprehensive insurance, medical treatments and doctor visits can lead to significant out-of-pocket costs. Daily living expenses such as groceries and dining out can add up, particularly for expatriates who prefer familiar imported products. Even fast food or casual dining options tend to be more expensive than in other parts of the world. For those who rely on taxis or ride-sharing services like Uber, transportation costs can also add up quickly. Despite affordable public transportation options like the Dubai Metro, many residents find themselves using taxis or private cars, which further increases their monthly expenses.
Also, this is not a place you can walk at all. They built the city so that it's literally only vehicles. You have to use either, like you said, Uber in Dubai, or you have to have your own car in Dubai. But if you want to drink, you can't drive back. So there is no walking in Dubai. That's what I heard. It's a very not walking friendly city. You know, you're just straight up in the desert. Imagine a city just plopped into the desert where nothing can really survive. It's fascinating.
Number 6. Prostitution in Dubai.
Oh yeah.
Prostitution
I
in
told you, it's just going to keep getting darker and darker. Those first ones, that's just a little taste, but it's going to get increasingly darker.
Dubai exists as an illicit activity deeply hidden from public view, yet it remains a subject of controversy due to the city's strict legal framework and cultural norms. Dubai, as part of the United Arab Emirates, follows Sharia law, which prohibits prostitution and enforces heavy penalties for those involved. Although the practice is illegal, it still operates underground, with prostitution primarily catering to expatriates, tourists, and wealthy businessmen. The demand for such services is linked to the constant influx of visitors drawn by Dubai's luxury hotels, high-end nightlife, and vibrant tourist industry. While prostitution remains illegal, there are certain areas, mainly specific nightclubs, bars, and hotels, where this activity occurs discreetly. Many women involved.
Not even discreetly. I saw videos about Dubai where there's pamphlets and leaflets littered all over the floor, all over the streets of Dubai, all over the cars, and literally on the sidewalks in Dubai. You will see these, advertisements for call girls. Number here, pictures of them. It's really weird. It's nothing you'd ever see in America.
involved in prostitution come from Eastern Europe, Southeast Asia, and Africa. Some are victims of trafficking, deceived into coming to Dubai with the promise of legitimate employment, only to find themselves coerced into the sex trade. Prostitution rings are often organized by international criminal networks operating under the radar of law enforcement. Despite government efforts to combat these activities, they persist in hidden corners of the city. The exchange between sex workers and clients is typically discreet, designed to avoid detection by authorities. High-end establishments sometimes gain reputations for such activities, though this goes largely unnoticed by the general public. It's critical to understand the legal consequences of involvement in prostitution. Both sex workers and their clients face harsh punishments if caught. Prostitutes are often deported after serving their sentences, while clients may face substantial fines, imprisonment, or deportation. Additionally, even the indirect involvement in prostitution can lead to legal consequences. For instance, landlords renting to individuals later caught in such activities may find themselves facing legal action. Dubai's strict laws on morality extend to hotels and businesses that knowingly allow prostitution. These establishments risk being fined or shut down. A particularly disturbing aspect of prostitution.
See, they try to make it seem like they really don't want them doing that and that they're so strict. But like I said, I saw videos where it is so out in the open, you wouldn't believe it. Like certain areas of America, we think, oh, wow, like look at these streets. Like it's so out in the open what these women are doing or what they're being forced to do most of the time. But in Dubai, literally all over the place in these popular areas, you will see these straight up pamphlets and advertisements for these poor girls that are, and most of the time they got promised this beautiful life in Dubai, and a lot of them turn out to be slaves. It's really sad what's happening in Dubai.
In Dubai is the exploitation and abuse of women within this illegal system. Many workers face extreme vulnerability due to their lack of legal protections. These women cannot report mistreatment without risking their own arrest and deportation. The government has made efforts to combat trafficking through stricter laws and campaigns. However, the clandestine nature of prostitution makes it challenging to fully eliminate this issue, leaving many women at risk. Number 5. Censorship and restrictions on free speech. One of the more surprising aspects of living in Dubai is the strict control over freedom of expression, particularly when it comes to what is shared online and in public. Unlike many countries where people enjoy a free exchange of ideas, Dubai imposes heavy censorship, especially when it concerns politics, religion, and government criticism. Certain websites, including those discussing political matters or opposing the government, are blocked entirely. Social media platforms are also heavily monitored, and individuals can face severe consequences for what they post. For instance, a tourist in Dubai was arrested for posting a negative review of a business online. This seemingly harmless action was considered
That would never happen in America. Oh my God.
defamation, and the tourist was fined, imprisoned, and eventually deported. This serves as a stark reminder that Dubai's legal system takes defamation and criticism of the government very seriously. In Dubai, even a casual conversation or joke about the local laws, the royal family, or the government can lead to legal trouble if overheard or reported. There have been cases where tourists faced arrest simply for expressing opinions that were deemed disrespectful, even if their comments were made in jest. The government also exerts strict control over the media. News outlets, both domestic and international, are heavily regulated to avoid reporting on sensitive issues. Local newspapers, television channels, and radio stations must adhere to government guidelines. International news channels are sometimes subjected to similar censorship, with segments deemed too controversial being removed or altered. This censorship extends to other forms of entertainment as well. Films, books, and music are often subject to censorship. Movies shown in cinemas may have scenes of nudity, violence, or sexual content edited out to align with the cultural and moral values of the UAE. Music videos on TV are similarly edited to remove anything that could be considered inappropriate by the government's standards. Tourists should understand that freedom of expression in Dubai is much more restricted than they may be accustomed to in other parts of the world. While Dubai is a cosmopolitan city with a diverse population, visitors are expected to respect its laws, including those that limit public speech and the sharing of certain types of information. Posting certain opinions online or making offhand comments in public could result in serious legal consequences. Additionally, photography is...
And a lot of the tourists that go there don't know about this. I would never expect that. So you leave a bad review for a restaurant because that's what you normally do if, you got really bad service, for example. But in Dubai, that can end you in a lot of trouble. If you have any family members going to Dubai, planning trips to Dubai, then, you should warn them about this. This can get you messed up.
heavily regulated. Taking pictures of certain government buildings, military sites, or even people without permission can lead to fines, confiscation of equipment, or arrest. Tourists are advised to be aware of where they are taking photos and to avoid snapping pictures in areas where photography is prohibited. Respecting these restrictions is essential for a smooth visit, as violating them could result in severe repercussions. Number 4. Mafia presence in Dubai. Dubai's rapid economic growth and tax-free policies have made it an attractive destination for international criminals seeking to launder money or evade authorities. The city
I've definitely heard about that. I heard that there is a lot of gangsters in Dubai, a lot of organized crime groups from around the world, from Eastern Europe, Russia, from everywhere, literally anywhere. It could be from America. Go to Dubai and, they funnel their money in there and wash it. Crazy stuff.
The city's luxurious lifestyle, robust banking system, and booming real estate market provide the perfect environment for organized crime groups from around the world to operate with relative ease. While the UAE government has ramped up efforts to crack down on criminal activity, several notorious mafia organizations have successfully infiltrated Dubai's financial systems. One of the most infamous groups involved in illicit activities in Dubai is the Italian Camorra, a powerful crime syndicate originating from Naples. This group has been linked to significant money laundering operations in the UAE, using the city's favorable financial regulations to conceal their profits. Investigations like the Dubai Unlocked project uncovered how the Camorra invested vast sums into real estate to launder their criminal earnings.
And also, guys, in Dubai, you can buy property with crypto. That's one of the only places where you can straight up just pay for a property fully in crypto. No regular banking and transfers or wires or normal closings like what we're used to in America. But in Dubai, you can just straight up use crypto and buy a multi-million-dollar house. And that's one of the easiest ways for them to launder this money.
Exploiting the city's booming property market. The lack of stringent oversight in some sectors made Dubai an ideal location for these criminal operations. Similarly, the Kinahan cartel, an Irish criminal group involved in drug trafficking, has long used Dubai as a hub for its activities. Led by Christy Kinahan and his family, the cartel has laundered millions of dollars through businesses and property investments in the city, staying largely under the radar of law enforcement. However, global pressure and international cooperation have led Dubai to take action against the Kinahans. Arrests have been made, and the UAE has worked with other nations to possibly extradite key cartel members to face charges abroad. Further complicating the issue, French drug dealers have also been linked to Dubai's high-end real estate sector. These criminals have reportedly funneled millions into luxury properties in the city, using rental income to shield their illegal gains from French authorities. This has raised concerns over how Dubai's real estate market is being exploited by criminals to protect illicit wealth. The city's rising prominence as a financial hub has made it an increasingly important location for money laundering. Criminals often create fake businesses and use shell companies to conceal illegal transactions, making it difficult for authorities to detect financial crimes. The UAE government has responded to these challenges by tightening regulations in both the financial and real estate sectors. Through enhanced cooperation with international law enforcement, Dubai has been able to make several high-profile arrests and is working to eliminate organized crime in the city. Nevertheless, as long as criminals continue to exploit Dubai's lucrative markets, law enforcement will need to remain vigilant to keep pace with ever-evolving criminal strategies. Number 3. Public displays of affection.
Wow.
In Dubai, what may seem like a harmless gesture of affection to many visitors can quickly lead to legal trouble. The city has strict laws governing public displays of affection.
I heard about this in stricter Muslim countries, but I have not heard about this for Dubai. That's shocking. I did not know Dubai also doesn't like public affection. That's very, very interesting.
And tourists are often taken aback by how seriously these laws are enforced. While places like the UAE may have a reputation for modernity, the country still adheres to Islamic principles, which dictate conservative standards of public behavior. As a result, public acts of affection, even between married couples, are viewed as inappropriate and can lead to fines or even imprisonment. For many tourists, the shock comes when even seemingly minor displays, such as a quick kiss on the cheek, result in arrest. One infamous incident involved a British couple who were jailed after being caught kissing in a restaurant. They thought their gesture was discreet, but a fellow diner reported them to the authorities, leading to fines and a brief stint in jail. This incident underscores just how strict the regulations are regarding public displays of affection, even in seemingly private settings like a dining establishment.
I wonder what the details were on that case, because that seems too extreme. With so many tourists that go there, they rely on tourism. I feel like everyone would already know this. Maybe it was a one-off case. Maybe this is actually true, just no one talks about it. But that's extreme. Kiss on the cheek? Getting arrested for that in Dubai? That seems extreme to me.
Hand-holding, though generally accepted among married couples, can also be a sensitive issue in certain parts of the city. For unmarried couples, holding hands in public is not just frowned upon. It can result in legal consequences, including warnings, fines, or arrest. Tourists who have been caught in such situations often share stories of being stopped by police for something they considered harmless. It's important to understand that in Dubai, public behavior is closely scrutinized, and even small gestures can be misinterpreted. What makes this even more challenging is that Dubai's laws do not always make a clear distinction between minor and major displays of affection. A quick hug, a kiss, or even a touch can be perceived as breaking the law. Tourists should be aware that these rules apply to a variety of public spaces, including beaches, parks, shopping malls, and restaurants. Even in nightclubs, where the atmosphere might seem more relaxed, the same strict rules apply. Additionally, Dubai is equipped with numerous security cameras, so even if a couple tries to be discreet, they could still be caught on film. For tourists unfamiliar with these cultural norms, adapting to the city's rules about affection can be difficult. However, the best advice is to exercise caution and be mindful of how one's behavior may be perceived by local residents or security personnel. What might seem like an innocent gesture of love can have serious legal repercussions in Dubai, so it's essential to respect the country's cultural and legal standards during your visit. Number 2. The rise of organized crime in Dubai. Dubai's rapid economic expansion, its tax-free policies, and its highly developed financial system have turned it into an attractive destination for international criminal syndicates. The city's growing role as a global business hub has made it an ideal location for money laundering and other illicit activities, drawing organized crime groups from across the globe. While the government has taken significant steps to combat these activities, some well-established mafia groups continue to operate within the city's borders. One notorious example is the Italian Camorra, a powerful mafia from Naples, which has used Dubai as a base for laundering its illegal earnings. The Camorra's money laundering activities were uncovered in investigations. To exploit loopholes, law enforcement must stay vigilant to protect the city's reputation. Number 1. Strict drug laws in Dubai. Dubai is known for its strict laws, and its approach to drugs is one of the harshest in the world. The city enforces a zero-tolerance policy towards drugs, and even the smallest amount of a prohibited substance can result in severe legal consequences. Whether it's an illegal drug or a prescription medication not approved by local authorities, tourists must be exceptionally careful when...
Did you guys hear about those two brothers, I think? They're from the Netherlands, and they were Instagram famous, and they were using all these different Instagram women, you know, like models, Instagram models. They were flying them into Dubai, right, for these parties, but at the same time, they were flying them in private, I think, and they had them smuggling, the whole time smuggling. That was the real purpose of inviting them. And I guess because it's so strict there, you know, the profit margin must be crazy. And the Netherlands is one of the biggest smuggling destinations in that part of the world. So they would take the product on the private jet, bring it in, make it seem like, oh, he's just flying in women for parties, these two brothers. But the whole time they were bringing in product, and they got caught, and they might even face, you know, the no more life penalty. So they don't mess around with that. That's for sure. Definitely. If someone's going to Dubai, you're planning a trip to Dubai, and you think that your laws from back home apply there, and your habits that you have from back home you can bring with you, unless you want to never see the light of day again, think twice. Don't do it.
Bringing anything into the country. One of the most surprising aspects for visitors is how certain legal medications from other countries are banned in Dubai, including...
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that. Imagine your medicine. You're not even like some kind of party person, and you don't even think what you're doing is considered, you know, a narcotic or something. It's just your ADHD medicine or your pain meds. And you bring that with you on your trip because that's what you normally take. You have a prescription, you think it's all good. The next thing you know, even in the airport, they might snatch you. People need to be very careful when they're flying to Dubai. They need to watch these kind of videos about Dubai, understand how the laws work in Dubai, and really prepare themselves, because you don't want to get messed up, especially by accident, when you're technically not doing anything wrong morally, but you can end your life over that. That's scary stuff.
Some common painkillers and antidepressants. Many tourists are caught off guard when they discover that medications they take regularly at home are not permitted without the proper documentation. For instance, drugs like codeine, a common painkiller, may be banned unless travelers carry the necessary prescription and supporting paperwork. In some cases, tourists have been detained at the airport for carrying these medications, even if they were legally prescribed in their home country. One notable case involved a British tourist who was arrested for bringing painkillers containing codeine into Dubai without the correct paperwork. The tourist spent several months in jail before the case was resolved through legal intervention, underlining how serious the consequences can be for travelers who are not aware of the city's stringent drug regulations. Dubai's laws are not just strict about bringing drugs into the country, they also apply to substances already in your system. Even if you consumed a legal drug in another country before arriving in Dubai.
And we all know these substances, they stay in your blood, in your hair, in your fat. Maybe, I don't know how they test it, but they can stay for months. So you might have done something months ago, and if you get tested by happenstance, they might get you for that, because now you're in their land. You're in Dubai now. You're in the UAE. So their laws now apply. It only makes sense.
Traces of the substance in your system could lead to arrest. The authorities frequently conduct random drug tests, especially if there's any suspicion of drug use, and failing one of these tests can result in immediate detention. These measures extend beyond the possession of drugs to include drug paraphernalia. Even simple items such as a pipe or rolling papers can be considered evidence of drug use, leading to serious charges. The penalties for possessing illegal drugs in Dubai are severe. If caught with even a small amount, the minimum sentence is a lengthy jail term, For larger quantities, the penalties become even more extreme, including
Yeah, in Dubai, there's no bailing out, you know? Oh, you slap on the wrist, post bail, and you're back on the street. I don't think it works like that there.
life imprisonment or, in rare cases, the death penalty. In Dubai, even bringing in a small amount of illegal substances is treated as trafficking, a crime that can carry significant consequences. There have been cases where tourists unknowingly carried traces of drugs from previous travels only to face arrest upon entering Dubai. For those traveling to Dubai, it is critical to understand the strict drug laws in place. Before embarking on your journey, you should check whether your medication is allowed. And if it is, make sure to bring all the necessary documentation to avoid any legal issues. If there is any doubt about whether a substance is permissible, it's safer to leave it behind. Dubai is an incredible destination, but when it comes to drugs, the law offers no leniency. The consequences for breaking these laws can be life-altering, so it's best to proceed with extreme caution. What do you think of Dubai and its secrets? Let us know in the comments below. See you next time!
Yeah, definitely let me know in the comments. Thank you to the creator of this video for making this piece of work right here. Guys, you know, Dubai, people think it's some sort of paradise, like, you know, all these beautiful buildings, like it seems really nice, doesn't it? But, you know, there's the dark side of Dubai right here for us. And I've heard other things as well, like I mentioned in the video. And yeah, like if you didn't know, now you know. If you liked watching this video, then please subscribe to the channel, drop a like, comment your opinions. I'm glad that I got to watch this video with you. You know, I don't like watching videos alone. If you don't like watching videos alone and you like to watch them with someone, then you're definitely going to like my channel. So I suggest that so that you see my videos more often, like this video about Dubai that we just watched, subscribe to the channel or drop a like and watch more of my videos. Give them a watch. If you see my face in the thumbnail, you know it's my video. Let's watch more videos together. I'm glad that you're here. I'm very grateful that you're here, very much. And if you're watching this right now, you know, I'm sending lots of love to you. Thank you so much. And I'll see you guys in the next one.